It was somewhere in my darkest dreams. It was unlike anything I've ever seen. The sun was fading into the sky. I turned around and wondered why, but I'm gone. Yes, I'm gone. There's a story I remember.
This is Windy City Redneck, the podcast. Welcome to the podcast. Season 3, episode 14. Whiskey Jim.
Hello.
Jim the Wino. Maybe Bose.
Something. We'll
Maybe
come up,
somebody.
We'll come up with something tonight.
One more is here, as usual.
Hello.
Right? Hey, thanks for joining us, folks. Going to turn my level down a little bit. I sound like I'm ready to come through the grill here. Hey, you're listening to Liam Durkin in the background from the CD behind the wheel. I'm gone. We'll tell you about what Liam's got going on. He's got a lot of stuff going on. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Love this song. This is that time of year, one more, when we head down to the woods. Hunting season's coming up. Our buddy here, Jim, is gun season.
I've actually been invited.
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll see how this podcast goes.
We went through that in the pregame. We'll get there, but I love this song. Driving through down to the woods,
cranked up,
and you're on those back roads. You know, it's kind of cool. And thinking about, one of our dreams has been to get Liam down to the barn and have him perform down there. How cool would that be?
Be awesome.
That'd be one to have video of, and have him down there and stuff. So we'll talk about Liam in a little bit. Hey, again, Season 3, Episode 14. We have a title for this. We'll let you know in a few minutes. One more, and again, Whiskey Jim, and he's got 3 names here. We're going to figure this out. Before we get started with what's your drink tonight? One more?
I forgot. Spotted Cow.
Spotted Cow? All right, cool.
I'm too busy.
And
I'm back to my old style.
The Chicago Handshake.
Chicago Handshake.
Which is the Merlot.
It's a Malort.
Malort.
Not Merlot. Merlot is wine.
All right. You see you're a wino, and I'm all confused now. Hey, I see you're sporting the NIU stuff.
I am. Yes.
Proud,
it's kind of transitory weather, so I'm not wearing my full-blown pullovers.
We're not trans here. Just saying.
But you could be.
That's going to be one of the things. I might as well say what the title of this episode is. Title of this episode is "It's a Mad, 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 Mad World," and you can only imagine where we're going to go with that. Thought we'd talk about that for a little bit, and then, but there's going to be an interesting twist to it, and I think you're going to enjoy it. No, I really do. There is. Hey, as long as we're
just so we're clear, I sent several texts about what the topic was.
So we're coming to you. We're coming to you, obviously, from the lounge. We're back in here. Thanks to One More. One More is taking another leap into the video section and upgraded to another. Camera. We have a second camera. Hey, congratulations. You did a great job doing all that video.
I don't know why nobody likes you. You're really nice.
Isn't that crazy how long it takes you?
It took me forever. Well, I had to watch everything again.
Yeah.
And again.
Maybe you
and
should.
Again.
Yeah,
maybe
like a million times.
Maybe one more time.
Yeah. I know. It's like when I'm listening to it, and then, but what's crazy now is I don't listen to it anymore, right? Because that last episode, the same track was playing twice, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't listen anymore. Just give me just give me the fucking file. I'm uploading it. There we go. Again, we're explicit language. Welcome to everything Windy City Redneck. This is Windy City Redneck, the podcast. Liam Durkin in the background. Hey, Liam Durkin is going on tour. He's going to Ireland. His tour will be September 22nd through the 30th, 2024. He's taking a bunch of people over there. If you're interested in that, check him out at liamdurkin.com. Check him out on Facebook as well. It's a great opportunity. It's priced right. Me and Roscoe looked at it. The only thing that's keeping me from going, folks, is the fact that, not that I'm an old man, but I don't know if I can party in Ireland that many nights in a row with Liam and his dad and that group.
You can.
I could?
You can. Yes.
All right. Even with the jet lag and shit?
Yes. The best thing to do is drink through the jet lag.
All right. Well, we got some time, so we'll figure that out. But thanks to Liam and the guys in the Liam Durkin Band for letting us use his music. I don't know what Liam's schedule is. We're recording this episode on a Thursday night. There's football on tonight. We'll talk about that real quick in a minute. But this episode is going to drop on audio. It'll drop over the weekend.
We don't know.
On video, we're just going to say for now. Well, we're just going to say the week of the 30th.
Okay.
The week of the 30th. That gives you plenty of time to do it, folks.
Or November 30th.
Well, you know what? It's a huge undertaking, folks, to cut that video. I mean, if you watch the last one, and we've got it on our Facebook page, the links to it. But now you can watch the Vodcast on WindyCityRedneck.com. We've got that on there, so thanks for all the suggestions.
Well, yeah, just look up Windy City Redneck and it pops right up.
Yeah.
So what you were saying via text the last week when the last episode was downloading, it takes forever for you once you cut it and edit it.
Yeah.
Just for it to download.
Yeah, well, I'm learning. That's a whole learning curve that I'm going through, and I found out that the first one I sent was too heavy of a file.
Right.
So I kind of like watched some YouTube videos on how to do a YouTube video, and I changed the setting on it, and the second ones went a lot quicker.
Got it.
So isn't that funny? You watch YouTube videos to know how to do
We
YouTube?
should do the rest of this with candy in our mouths. It's the week for Halloween, so...
Dude, I mean...
At least the stickers are stuck. Not like the hat last time.
Right. That's
Kept falling off.
Good to go. Hey,
I was tempted to just put a picture of the thing right in front of the hat
front of it,
and just
like a float,
leave it,
like
and just leave it there through the whole video.
So the music thing, we use Out of Touch. We went and saw Out of Touch. I don't know if we talked about that on the last podcast. Out of Touch played at the Irish Rebel.
I think that might have been part of it that got cut off right at the end.
Well, they put on a hell of a show. Irish Rebel wanted them back. Unfortunately, they want them back the day after Christmas.
Yeah.
Boxing Day is the day after
26th,
Christmas, correct,
yeah.
Mr. You're European.
Well, it's Canadian as well. So,
Yeah. Well, you're our European liaison.
Yes, it is.
Can you
Yes.
do this episode in a European accent, Ty?
3 more old styles and I'll try.
It automatically kicks in. But Out of Touch, we'll let you know what's going on with them.
No,
Good
but
news.
I can use my asshole accent.
Yeah, well, you're fluent.
I'm awake.
You're fluent in asshole. And again, we are explicit language. Everything Windy City Redneck is explicit language. Good news, folks, is Out of Touch. The morning after their performance at the Irish Rebel, they went into the recording studio, and they're going to have some nice, polished tracks. I saw some video from what they did. Beck, the drummer, was in one room. Will was in another. They were all over the place. Looked awesome. And I think we'll have some links to their stuff, too. So congrats to the boys for putting on a hell of a show. And when they're back out on the road, we'll let you know on that as well. Hey, American Legion Gun Raffle, American Legion Post 854. Me and one more are working with them on a couple things, but they have a gun raffle coming up. Check them out on Facebook. I'm working with them to get their website up and running, but there are 9 opportunities on this gun raffle to win something really nice, folks. So check that out. We'll post a link on our Facebook page and or on the website, which leads me into the hat I'm wearing. Tonight I've got on the Northwoods Matt hat, and we've talked about him on the last couple episodes, and I talked about the American Legion gun raffle, and we need to fix something for you folks. So both One More and myself and Just Ron and Captain Jim, we need to fix something. We've been trying to figure out how to do it. We're not making excuses. So we had our own gun raffle going, and a lot of you folks purchased tickets. Northwoods Matt was running that and ramrodding that and taking care of the whole thing. Unfortunately, with his passing, no one knows where any of the tickets are. The money is not the important part, but the important part is the folks that bought tickets.
Yeah, we don't know who did it.
And we don't know who. We don't have your names if you got them from Northwoods Matt. We have about a third to maybe half of the names that were sold by other members. We're asking you folks. You've been loyal to us. We love your patronage. We love the fact you listen to the podcast. Appreciate the fact now you're watching the podcast. You purchased hats and T-shirts, the Northwoods Matt series. That's actually going to come up and help us, Evan, cover all of his costs at Deer Camp. We'll talk about that. But we want to make things right with you, and we need to do that. And again, it's really not about the money, but it's not about. It is about making sure we get everyone included. So we're asking for your honesty. Which is something that may seem weird coming from this group of guys that are drinking right now. But if you did purchase tickets, if you could either send an email to info@windycityredneck.com, instant message or a message on our Facebook page, let us know that you bought tickets, how many, and we're going to figure this out. We're going to make it right. Our hope is to make it right at Deer Camp. Deer Camp is coming up for Windy City Redneck, and we're hoping to do that on the night that we celebrate Matt's jovial spirit with our old-fashioned night at the Beaverville Pub in Beaverville, Illinois, and we'll put the details on that on our Facebook page. But we want to make things right, so we're hoping to do it by then. So if you did buy tickets, please email us, get a hold of a member, text message some of the guys, let us know that you did, and we'll get it in. We'll get a list. We'll get it figured out. The one thing I will tell you, folks, is that we're going to do our best to make it right. It's something that's been bothering us. We were hopeful that we'd get it figured out. Jackie, God bless her soul, we really couldn't push her to keep digging because she got enough on her plate, and it was a little rough for her to keep doing that. So
and it's very easily it was in a box and it just got pitched,
it was in his truck, or it could even be in a bag at the Hornet. I mean, I've gone. I opened up the box, but it's not. It could be anywhere. It could be anywhere. And he was a great guy, and still is in spirit. And we'll celebrate that. We'll give you the details on that. But we're going to make that gun raffle right. That's Old Fashioned Night at the Beaverville Pub. That'll be 9:00 on Saturday, the 18th of November. Thanks to Marty and all the folks at the Beaverville Pub for accommodating us that night. We'll give you more details as we get closer. And again, Deer Camp is coming up. Yep. And we are going to do some Vodcast podcast episodes from there. This guy right here is going to be joining us at some point, and we're going to try and do some video. And Just Ron and Captain Jim have a GoPro as well, so we're going to try and get some field stuff and get that all up and running. So, again, thanks again for your patronage, and let's get on with the episode. That's the housekeeping stuff. So, one more. You got anything you want to throw in?
No. Other than I forgot to look up Liam's.
I looked, and there really isn't any. He doesn't have anything posted for this weekend. He might be taking it off because it's Halloween. What do you got? You got anything you want to throw in? Any shameless plugs?
Just to do our shout out at the end, right?
Yeah, we'll do that all at the end. So, hey, thanks for bringing the candy. So, yeah.
Do I look like I've ever missed an opportunity for candy or alcohol?
Yeah. Well, and folks, what we're going to try and do is when we're doing the vodcast, here on out. You might see my cadence is a little bit quicker than usual, getting through stuff. We're going to try to do 45 minutes to an hour, unless we have a guest.
I like that idea for the editing.
For editing,
part.
Yeah. And anytime we have a guest, it'll be two parts, and each one will be 45 minutes to an hour for the first one, and the second one is going to be 15 minutes to 30 minutes, which is going to be the closing. So we're going to get down, and if we have to have people back, like we got Jack Pesci coming in, the owner of Rosangela's Restaurant. Amazing story. He was supposed to be our guest. He's a little under the weather. That's why he's not here today. But when we sit down with him, you can't have a man that's done so much. His story is amazing. You can't do that in 45 minutes. No. It's an injustice to him, and it's not fair to him. So we'll do it we'll do that, like I said, we'll do it there, and then maybe we'll have him back in 6 weeks after that. And maybe we'll do it somewhere else. Maybe we'll do it at the restaurant on a day when it's closed or something, and have a little bit more of an intimate thing. But that's the plan with that. So today, 45 minutes to an hour, and we're about 15 minutes in, so we're right on track. Title of this episode is "It's a Mad World." And the guys asked me via text earlier this week what the topic was going to be so they could get prepared. And I really didn't have one. We thought Jack was coming in, so we kind of had an idea we were doing that. But it's been crazy. It has absolutely been a mad world. And we're going to put a spin on this, a happy spin on it, but there's been so much going on. And today, we're recording this on Thursday, and yesterday was another tragic episode in the state of Maine, and they're still dealing with that. I mean, last we had on Fox News, and there still had not been a capture. There was something going on at his last known residence, and they hadn't found him yet.
He left his car about 9 miles from the shooting.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate. I'm gonna ask a question. I'm gonna let you guys to expound on it and let us know what your feelings are. Obviously, Windy City Redneck, we're into the hunting, we're into the fishing, we're into the outdoors. The one thing I know that I can speak for all the guys in the group and everyone at Windy City Redneck Nation is that we respect the firearms, but we also respect the fact that you have the right to bear arms. Use them, the way you're supposed to. Be smart about all of it. Unfortunately, this individual doesn't have all of his mental faculties, apparently, which is obvious. So I just know that's what the view of the group is. What are your thoughts on?
Pretty much the same. Yeah. I mean, everybody should have the right to bear arms, but there's that fine line between mental illness and stability to who gets to keep bear arms. I mean, if you've got some mental issues, probably shouldn't have a gun. I mean,
Not probably.
Yeah,
You shouldn't have a gun.
Yeah, pretty much. So,
and this person obviously he's troubled, and
Yeah.
he spent time. He was in detention for mental disorder this summer. He also was hearing voices.
Yeah,
There's talk of him saying he was going to shoot up a military base.
okay. Yeah,
That he told someone in the psychiatric field
and that's one of the things that's wrong with nowadays. It's the mental health system that we have in the United States is just down the tubes. I know that from my work. It was basically if somebody was having some mental issues, you turn around and you dropped them off at the hospital, and they kicked them out 28 hours later.
Back on the street.
They don't have insurance. They're kicked out on the street. And then, heaven forbid, something happens.
Well, and I think it's a delicate line. I think the balance between personal rights and the rights of the masses.
Yeah, the state of Illinois has it now where you can turn around and I can say you're mental and turn around and they can go after your gun rights just because of what I said. And
say you're a neighbor and we have a disagreement over cutting the grass.
And now I can turn around and say you're mental and put a police report in, and if there's semi grounds, they can go to a judge and get you considered, and take your FYD away and get you
and never get it again. Yeah.
Well, there's hearings on it. It's a time limit, but you know how it goes. It's like once they take them away, it's a lot harder to get them back.
Right.
So, but that's where that fine line is. I mean, it's who's stable and who's unstable. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm looking at three guys right now there. I don't know.
Well,
I get questions.
I was just going to say that. What is the definition of stable, and under what context?
But I also think, by and large, hunters in general respect firearms, and not even hunters, people that have not automatic rifles, AKs, which is an automatic rifle. They take it absolutely seriously, and there's certain things you don't do when you're in and around a gun, and most gun owners don't.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say is that I'm proud of the guys in our group, everyone at Windy City Redneck Nation that we hang around with one more. And I know that you've done some pheasant hunting as well, and I know that you practice gun safety. It's really important, but I think with me talking about it's a mad world, I think it's deeper than. I mean, we started with this issue because this is what's fresh
in front
today,
of us,
and I really did not want this to be that part of the podcast.
Yeah, I get it.
I told you what it was going to be, and then this happened last night when we were out together. Right. We were out at the Legion for Queen of Hearts. And then this shit happened, and I'm like, oh my god, how do we do this? And the reason I want to do it's a mad world is I think that there's more craziness out there than just the situation with the gun thing. I think it's mob action that we're having downtown in the city of Chicago. These other protests, and of course we have the Israeli. Palestinian conflict, and I just think that things are crazy, and I thought we should talk about it and clear the air on how we feel, each of us feel. Maybe have a open book discussion about it. Maybe some of our viewers and listeners.
I'm not really comfortable. I mean, I before I'm willing to talk about Palestine and Israel, I want to learn more. I think by and large most Americans don't know. They know bullet points and they know or buzzwords. It's such an intricate.
Well, it's been going on for thousands of years.
It has.
Jesus, I mean, you can turn around and say that they've been oppressed, but they weren't there before, and who came there when,
right?
Who's So,
and I'm not saying either one has
right.
The Hamas, and I'll say Hamas, not Palestine. Yeah. The Hamas should not have done what they did, no matter what. There's no reason on any reason.
I'll agree with you there.
And I'm just going to leave it at that. That's all I'm going to say about just because
there's so
many lightning rod
things.
There's
no justification for what
there isn't.
Well, I got to ask you a question though. You prefaced it by saying this that you don't want to talk about it too much because you don't feel educated enough. Do you feel like there's a lot of misinformation out there? Do you think there's
I don't know.
sides being taken?
I think there are definite sides being taken. I think.
I mean, look at that missile attack on the hospital. I mean, who do you believe?
Right.
Hamas says it was Israel. Israel saying it was Hamas. They got, they say they got proof. You know what I mean? So yeah,
I just think our country is at a delicate moment right now, and I think what you were saying about how it's a mad world. I think so many people. Their emotions, it's like a fraying wire. It's a strip like a rope that's coming apart, and I think it's about ready to snap.
It's a ticking time bomb.
It's a ticking time bomb. And I think I'm not one to ever have measured words, but I want to be very careful because it's being documented.
Yeah.
That I don't know enough about it to take this is what I feel because regardless of what I feel, there are people.
Yeah,
people
and my apologies to both of you. I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No.
I respect your views, but
he did.
No, it's an open topic,
Yes.
and then your reaction to that is well founded. I'm not going to sit here, folks. I'm not picking a side. I get it.
No, he's letting us.
No, and I don't expect either one of you to. My thing with it's a mad world is I just think that there's so much. There's this side, there's this story, there's this, that, and then now the youth of America, who are the most impressionable in these colleges and everything, that's a shit show,
and that's separate.
It's a shit show.
I think we have to back out the education system and the liberal component of that,
the biases,
the biases, and that has nothing to do with what happened. It has a lot to do with how people are reacting to what happened.
That's my mad concept. I mean,
but I also think you have to be respectful because a lot of people died. They said it's equivalent of the per capita in Israel is the equivalent of 35,000 people dying on 9/11.
Yeah. And I'm not taking anything away from that, and I get the.
I know people that feel very passionately on both sides of this, and they feel passionately for personal reasons. And I don't really have a horse in this race other than I know people that I like and respect, and I know people that I like and respect, and I have to hear their views and listen to their feelings and say that they're valid because they are, because it affects them. And I want to learn. I've tried to educate myself the last 2.5 weeks. I think I know a lot about it, but I'm not comfortable enough. Yeah. Like I can't
put it out there.
Talking about Jimmy Buffett, which was
that's easy going.
Yeah, I mean, that's talking about getting drinking and having fun. And I mean,
a little lighter note.
Yes.
What are your thoughts
on what?
And
I think I kind of viewed my opinion too with him. I agree.
The college scene, though. I mean,
well, I think our kids are, when they go to college, there's a big liberal element to that they're getting maybe one side of the story and not the other side of the story. I don't know. It just seems.
Does it bother either one of you that the colleges, the hierarchy and the administrations and the educators in the college and the you sort of steering some of these views? You guys are both acting like you want to be. No, you guys are both acting like you want to be Switzerland, which I totally agree with. I get it, but I don't feel like
I want
the
to be
education
Switzerland
system
on camera.
On camera,
on camera.
Yeah, we can talk about this all you want off camera.
Yeah, well, but I mean, okay, well, I mean,
this is what I'll tell you.
I don't think we should sugarcoat it, but I'm not saying you don't have to say it. I'm just saying is that you have those the college and universities. Do you think if you're one of those people that are paying for your child's university or college and everything, don't you think they should just be learning what they're supposed to be learning, and those professors should not be commenting on politics and getting and holding it against them if they pick one side or the other, or favoring them because they picked one side over the other? That's my thing.
I used to think that college was supposed to be a place to teach critical thinking.
Yeah.
Regardless of the issue, regardless of the side of the issue, because what I liked about my daughter that went to Marquette, the education that she got at Jesuit University, they really taught her how to articulate both sides of an argument. And I love that. I love it and I don't, because she can argue with about anything and win.
She's a woman.
Yeah. Well, no, but she's also. I mean, you know both of my daughters. They're both very bright, very articulate. I think, as I was going to say, we're all parents.
Yep.
I feel we've done a good job. Without meeting your kids, I know you as a person. We raised good humans that are strong enough. Strong enough, both mentally and emotionally, that they don't get pulled in the middle, or they're not fraying at the ends because the base that they've been given at 5 years old, at 8 years old, at 10 years old, at 12 years old, before they got any kind of indoctrination, either left or right, they're strong enough to decide and understand that some things there is gray area. Some things are here and some things are here. But everything is here now, left and right.
Yeah. But the schools do kind of push an agenda pretty much, because, I mean, just talking to my kids when they come home, and we'll talk on a subject like any that he, she, is, or whatever, you know, has, what was
pronouns.
The pronouns.
He, she, I might be, I'm not sure what I am. thing.
I was
So-
talking to my kids about it, and my son actually got mad. Like, that's offending her. I'm like, well, it's kind of offended me when somebody that I know that grew up as a female is trying.
I would tell you,
like,
when our kids are our age,
yeah, they're going to be.
it'll be completely different. It'll be a completely different world. It already is a completely different world, and I think we're like, in a lot of ways, our parents were. It's a whole cycle.
Yeah, but you bring that up, and then you've got on your rugby thing.
Yeah.
I mean, think about how, and I really had one thing I love about the Vodcast podcast that we do is that we have a topic and it goes in different directions and it opens up different avenues. I mean, I didn't really think we would talk about the gender thing. It's kind of cool that you brought that up, but then you've got on the rugby thing. I mean. And you go to the college.
What does rugby have to do with gender things?
Well, here's where I'm going to go with that. Is the colleges and the universities and how their views and what they steer the kids to. And you brought up the gender thing and everything. Now you also have in this mad world, you have the sports issue where I'm going to be in this division and I want to do this.
Identify as a woman, and I'm
you guys have to
play against.
As much as you want to separate all this and you want it. I respect both of you guys 100%, but I mean, so much of this stuff is interconnected.
It is,
and you bring that up, and then you look at the sports thing, and you're just like, God, madness. Where does it?
Yeah.
How did it start? Where does it end?
Playing against a 5'2"
Where does it end?
female in the same sport or something, not. Yeah, it's just not.
Go back to the simplicity of when we were growing up, and you sat down on Thursday night on ABC and you watched Battle of the Network Stars.
Yeah. Friday night Happy Days.
Yeah.
7 o'clock Happy Days.
Now look
ABC.
at it.
It was Happy Days, Laverne,
Yeah.
Shirley. Man, I could probably name the whole lineup until 9 o'clock. Then 9 o'clock was Love American Style.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But now look at Love American Style. Is
Yeah.
it Love American Style anymore?
Yeah.
Do you even know?
know who's
I mean,
who? What's
no,
what?
I mean just everything. I mean, isn't it?
I mean, this is I'm trying to think of the right way to say that, what I want to say, because I'm trying to be.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to articulate my feelings without being blunt, and that's hard. That's almost very hard for me to do.
As Captain Assholio? Yeah. Yeah.
All I know is I keep seeing the book over there that says asshole. And it's just
There we go. But
Was that the Book of Asshole? No, that's the one.
if
with the
either one of my
phrases.
children,
yeah, that's the Book of Asshole.
wherever to come home, and I would like to think again, raise strong enough children that
have their
are
own minds,
that have their own minds and their own hearts. And if one of them were to come home and say, "Hey, Dad, I'm gay," or "I think I'm a man," I would be supportive of that. Only because number one, they're adults. I think it's different. It's a completely different conversation when they're children.
Well, they're your kids.
But they're your kids, and I would love them no matter what. And I wouldn't love them any differently, and I
unconditional.
wouldn't. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I agree with you 100%. I would be the same way. And I don't have.
But
any
there's still
ill
some
will.
people that don't, which that's where, and I think that's part of the blatant pushback on a lot of things, is we as a society or we as a country, we need to just go, hey, that door's already open. It's already open. Everybody, hey, well, just come on in. You're in this. We're all in the same room. Let's all have fun. Let's have a. It's the party's here, guys. Let's. It's no longer taboo. It's no longer.
And then just don't push your views on me, and I won't push my views on you.
Yeah,
Bingo.
let's talk about baseball. Let's talk about
bingo. I like the
Kinda
way
like
you said that.
Kind of
Yeah,
like we brought up when we were talking about Buffett, about how Buffett never pushed his political views.
No.
And that's where you got a problem with Springsteen.
right.
And because he's always on there and he's kind of pushing his views and stuff like that for his, and it's just like be an entertainer. So don't push your views. And it's kind of like
again. I'll say what Michael Jordan said.
Yeah, I know. Everybody
Republicans buy shoes too.
I know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. All my angle on that is that you have. I don't know. I don't even know if aggressiveness is the word on some of it.
It just seems like some stuff's getting ramrodded down your throat.
I don't have a
put
problem.
out there.
I don't
It's
have
just
a problem with all of that stuff. The issue I have is that jamming it down people's throats with the plunger and all this, and it's not as respectful as it could be.
The other side of the coin is, for years and years and years, white hetero males have been jamming it down women, people of color, people of sexual persuasion. That's the argument. I'm not saying you've done it, and I'm not saying you've done it. Mm-hmm. Maybe I've done it a little, but that's the argument. That we've done it for so long, for so often, for so hard, that they're pushing back. They're trying to break through hard. And I think, and like I was saying, I think we need to let everybody know that we're there. Everybody's in the room. Yeah. It's a big tent. It is what it is.
Yeah. You got any comment on that? 'Cause
I wasn't
not-
expecting this today. I would like to have prepared for this.
No, but
By that I
we
mean
don't,
3
we
more
don't.
beers.
No, it's like, what does your shirt say?
Never prepared.
Never prepared, always inaccurate.
Yeah.
I mean that's what we do, and I don't want to. We're not going to change that.
No,
So,
I know,
mean,
but-
and you knew what?
It is a little unfair that
It's
you have the whole idea of where you're
But
steering it.
he is the host.
But
That's true.
I can go back to the producing role.
It's also
Yeah,
it's
that's
also
true.
a heavy time in our world right now, and I think
It's-
we're at the beginning of it. We're not.
What do you
at
want? What do you want to do
so
here?
much
You want to
control.
sit here tonight, and talk about our favorite beers, and act like all this shit's not
beers
going on?
or bears?
Bears. There's no.
Drinking
Well,
or-
actually, we'll talk about the Bears if you want to, but I just don't think. I don't think you can ignore it. I just don't.
I
don't
agree,
think you can.
but I also I think we need to be very cautious right now because as of, not us three, I mean as people. I think
nation.
I do.
in 6 months, a lot of something. I think I said this to my wife a month ago before the shit happened with Israel. I got a bad feeling about the world, meaning I'm worried that there's going to be some kind of a major conflict. Not that we are involved in it, but we will, regardless, we will be involved in it.
I'm thinking we're going to be involved in it because
Well,
we got our fingers in everybody's pot.
And we've depleted our oil reserve.
reserves.
We've depleted our ammunitions. We've depleted our.
We're vulnerable.
Yeah,
We're
we're
vulnerable.
very vulnerable.
We're vulnerable.
And I honestly feel, not that it's a political thing. I think, as a strategy thing, I think other countries
Are
have
seeing it.
or seeing it
Yeah.
and escalating it, trying to deplete
definitely.
all of our resources.
Well, I'll apologize to
Well,
both
yeah,
of
you see, yeah. What is it? What's the saying or whatever? Where if like you see the injured animal or whatever, and then it draws in the
Right.
that's basically
pack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's like a
Pray.
Well, I'll apologize to both of you. I don't think I
EY,
need to
not AY.
apologize to you. I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but it's
but you did.
You can't,
You
well,
did.
no, it's bullshit. Bullshit. The one thing I will say.
How did you
to our-
vote? No.
the one thing I will say to our listeners and our viewers, though, is that we do appreciate your comments
know
and your
that.
suggestions for the show. And one of the things that there's many emails and text messages and conversations that we've had with people that appreciate the fact that we talk about regular stuff and that we're a regular group of people. I'll take one as long as you're up. Mine are in the freezer. But we do talk about regular things, and I know these are things that happen. And you talk about this around the water cooler. You talk about this. Certain groups are going to have certain views. I don't think that we should shy away from it. But I will not apologize for bringing it up because I think it's just something that's important that
The fridge.
we talk about. And again, everyone at Windy City Redneck, the views of everyone in the group are not those necessarily of your host.
There we go.
And
we
they
need a disclaimer at the
may
beginning
have
of our
different
show.
opinions. Hey, thanks to the folks at High Noon, I was able to find four packs of my black cherry.
Nice.
High Noon. So I'm not drinking that bullshit variety pack. Remember, I complained
I do
on
remember.
our last episode.
Yep.
So thanks to them. But I did say in the beginning of this, folks, that we were going to have a happy spin on this.
Yeah, that's.
And here's
Still waiting for that.
yeah. Well, here's the happy spin, and it's pour this in there. Yes, it's a mad world, and we talked earlier. You guys are pretty smart, and you had a complaint
Okay.
about how
You
no,
say so.
but you had a
Thank you.
you know what? I'm going back to producing if this shit's going to keep up. Trying to give you a compliment, and it's not even backhanded. It's about your foresight, and you see where it is. My train of thought. I know how you guys are, and I know where we can go with this. So when I said it's a mad world, and you brought up the Laverne and Shirley, and you brought up how when we grew up it wasn't like this and everything, that was going to be my spin on it. Is that you have all this craziness and all this stuff going on, and quite honestly, it's a mad world is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Is that Mel
And I
Brooks?
do think
believe so.
that when you have all of this stuff going on, you can immerse yourself in something else that will take you to a happy place. And what I wanted to say is with that movie, if you folks have ever seen it, think about that. The title of that movie, and it was all about the craziness, but in a different context of a treasure hunt, sort of, and of happier times and laughter and comedy, and we don't have to have all of this, and that can be kind of a go-to. you know, and you talked about the Laverne and Shirley, and you and I have talked about other things.
The Friday night lineup.
And that
ABC.
sort of stuff, and just watching
Channel 9 had
some
creature
wholesome
features.
stuff.
Yes,
That was the best.
it was.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
God, I can remember that song for the opening.
We had
So-
bunk beds in
Yes.
our room, and we weren't allowed to stay up, but the TV was in
No
the
power
bed,
tool still.
and you open up the door and the TV be on.
Yep.
I was
And then it would lead in.
bunk bed
That led in
feature.
from Creature Feature, and it turned into Svengoolie.
Yep.
And then Son of Svengoolie.
Yeah, and he's still on.
Yeah.
He's like one of the.
What is he doing this weekend for Halloween?
I don't know.
We're doing- we're
you know, I'm
doing this
actually
on
friends with him on
Halloween.
Facebook.
Are you really?
Yes, I can.
Who are you not?
with, like everybody.
Yeah,
on
who is he,
Facebook.
dude? Who is he not friends with? Who are you not friends with on Facebook?
I got a call to. Well, never mind. We do that at the break from somebody that you would be impressed with.
Okay,
Anyways,
but that,
who am I
that's,
not
that's
friends
on
with?
my Facebook page now. Is the Creature Feature logo.
The logo?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, change it. See, he doesn't even.
I saw it. I just thought it was your picture.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah.
Oh wow! Now that's a backhanded one right there.
Yeah, it's
So, but that movie, Dave, you ever seen that
Yeah.
movie? What about you?
Yeah, I don't remember too much of it.
Oh
but-
my god, it was so funny.
Yeah, I got
And then now
those.
there was the knockoff of it. What was that one called with Mr. Bean in it?
That one I never.
And,
I've never seen
uh,
anything with Mr. Bean. He's
Yeah,
anything
but
British.
It's,
I don't
it wasn't. It's a Mad
Really?
Mad World.
If it was so good, we'd still be
Treasure
part of
Hunt.
them.
Oh, I can't
That's
remember
true.
what it was.
That's a good answer.
My kids would tell me what the name of it was, but you go back to I think
Dave Allen at Large, though. Did you ever see him?
No.
On Channel 11? Oh, he was a really good comedian.
Sorry, you interrupted the host.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I'm back to the producer
I'm
role.
on the train, just the wrong one.
I'm back to the producer role. I'll just
I'm
produce.
sorry. Anyways, getting back to Mad World.
No, we don't have to talk about that one. I just want to talk about how you have all this stuff going on that people find, it's not
So
such
who,
a bad
who
thing
would
to
you
sit
rather
on your
beat
couch.
up? A gay, a trans?
Wow.
Dude, that's like, dude,
That's what I felt like you did with us in the beginning. I'm
all right, fine. Ask me the question. I told you my view on all that. I will give my honest opinion on that, and I've done it on this podcast before. I've given my honest opinion on this, and I'm going to do it right now.
you would beat up nobody.
No, I would not beat up anybody,
That's-
but
that's what
I
it-
have a favorite out of that group.
What's his name?
No, see, now that's bad.
Is it?
No,
I'm being inclusive.
I'm being inclusive because I've told
it
both
all
of you
funny.
on this podcast and on this vodcast is that I love
The gays.
the gay
Yes.
people.
Yes.
I absolutely do because they know who the fuck they are.
Yes.
Yeah.
They know that they're gay, and they're fucking normal. They just do something different, and I'm totally cool with that.
Well,
It's
I will-
all the
I will-
other
this is
stuff.
what I'll-
that-
this is what I'll say- this is
see,
what I'll-
I'll use my personal
This is where I'll say
opinion
you're
on this,
wrong. The normal ones are normal.
but- What normal ones?
There's plenty of normal heteros. There's plenty of normal gays. There's plenty of normal trans.
Yeah.
Bi.
All right.
But the normal ones are normal. The weird ones are weird. The strange ones are strange.
Well, you have strange straight people too.
That's what I said.
I mean,
kind of where I think
yeah.
that's where he was
Yeah.
going with it.
Yeah, and then you have psychopaths like the guy that started out the podcast that went out and killed 18
You know,
people. I mean,
psychopath. I think with him is the wrong word. I think he has a
got
mental
men- yeah,
illness.
he's got some-
Mental illness.
yeah.
All right, so I'm
He's hearing
sorry, I
voices. He
misspoke.
might be.
Yeah.
He might be schizophrenic. You
Yeah,
don't know.
and
He's
it's-
I'm
hearing
not
voices.
hearing voices.
Yeah. Well, I'm hearing voices right now in my ear, but I wouldn't consider myself schizophrenic.
Yeah,
Might have Tourette's or something, but
yeah.
other issues. But.
Yeah. But I mean, you got to try and find some happiness with all this
What are
going
you
on.
saying?
I
You
think.
don't think I'm happy?
I think
Don't look at you. Look at me.
you look angry. You look like an angry.
My
elf
eyes
right
open.
now. Yeah, but I think you got to try and find some happiness in this.
Look at the
In
eyebrows.
entertainment.
Wow, we have to bring it up every time.
Entertainment.
Did that? Never mind. I was leaving it
Entertainment is one of those things where you can kind of immerse yourself in that and get away from this stuff
Or I
temporarily.
thought create it.
alone. Comedy. Comedy.
Right,
That's what it's all
right.
about.
Yeah,
you
I
can do
agree.
that.
No, I agree.
I mean,
Need more comedy.
I think people need to have you can't have the TV on 24 hours a day and keep watching the news, regardless of what flavor you're watching of it.
But kind
and
of
be
getting back
immersed
to
in
some
all
of
this.
like all
so-
that people like you were just saying you like gay people whatever. The thing I don't like is like getting to comedy. Before you could talk about anything.
There was no topic.
There was
yeah, off
there was no
limits. Yes.
topic that's off
Yeah.
limits. All of a sudden now you're getting censored comedy.
I will say though, Dave
And I'm
Chappelle
like-
said some things last weekend, And I love Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say what he said, but Google it. And it's pretty bad what he said. Yeah.
Well, then you just don't go to his shows or you don't watch his shows.
And I think he's one of the funniest comics to ever live.
I know, but
I believe in free speech as much as the next guy.
Yeah.
But I'll agree with you on that one. That one
you
was
heard
a
what he
little.
said?
Yeah.
I didn't hear. I haven't seen it.
I don't know the entire context
either.
of it, but regardless of what context it was in, it should not have been verbalized.
Right.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
well, that's a
probably
choice on
shouldn't
him, and then
thought.
he's going to lose.
Yeah.
The unfortunate thing, though, is that's
viewers or whatever. But then people don't watch them.
He also,
and
he was also embroiled in a big trans controversy too.
I know, but it's just like every time it just seems like some comedian brings up a concept that just is, a little too sensitive for some people,
innocuous, yes.
and then they just turn around and jump all over them.
And
I'm like, and there's
canceled.
a lot of comedians,
Yeah.
the whole cancel culture kind of stuff. It's like, really?
Although the guy that's pretty funny, I think, and he's doesn't have any topic that's off limits. Matt Rife, have you seen anything?
Yeah,
from
he's
him?
hilarious.
Young
Yeah.
kid, early 20s.
I only seen the one video where he was picking on the MILF in the crowd that brought
Right, cookies.
I mean, he went some areas over there.
Yes.
Like, whoa, hey.
She was there with her daughters. I think, right?
Yeah, and he kind of just kept going.
I think I
down
may
that
have seen this.
And
this-
so
this
what
on
what those
the
clips
internet.
are is after his routine. He does like a 40 minutes. Now he's doing giant. He's doing United Center.
He's
He's doing
hilarious.
But he would do these small little comedy clubs.
Is that who called you earlier?
No.
Now, now if you're friends with him, I'm going to be like, hey,
Strike
all right.
one. We're going to get 5 guesses on it, folks.
That at the end of the show, he would just start doing
I have to go produce.
Q&A with the audience.
Oh, okay.
And he just
That's where that stuff came from?
And that's all his bits on his reels on TikTok are all him doing those things with people. It's all off the cuff, and I think
Okay.
he's brilliant off the cuff.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
That was the best part. It's like somebody'd say something to him,
Yeah.
and he would just like right away throw
yes, and it's
smart
absolutely hilarious.
And, yeah,
yes,
yeah. He was pretty good, and he doesn't seem to hold back on any topic.
Any topic.
Yeah.
Yes.
He
Yeah.
throws some stuff out there.
Correct.
But, getting back to my point, it's just
Yeah.
it just seemed like before, a long time ago, maybe we're just old and or maybe they weren't talking about these subjects back then. But anytime somebody brings up anything sensitive and they try to make fun about it, it's like they get canceled, like you
Right.
said, or they get brought back.
I agree.
I think we should cut to a Matt Rife.
There you go. A little. Well, that's the edit. The wonderful day. Or one more. Editing.
Well, we can't do that because we'll probably get copyrighted. And
True. You do a picture of them though.
yeah.
Yeah, but then we'd get sued, and then we'd go viral.
But you could
Yes.
just send. Oh, wow.
And then we just fold.
No, we'll go bankrupt.
Or no, we just come up with a new name. Right? That's what
Isn't that
everyone
what
does
pretty
these
much
days.
everybody does?
That's what
you
everyone
just,
does now, yeah.
You turn around, you get
Yeah.
sued, you go
Yeah.
bankrupt, and then you just open up under another name.
I mean, if people want to sue me, go for it. You get the lounge. That's about the only thing I got.
Well, it's more than they're getting from me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't have any.
They can have your Malort. I can
Yeah.
tell you that much.
I thought it was Merlot.
No, it's Malort.
That's right.
I'm sorry, that stuff.
Do you
is
guys
so
think?
nasty.
So you're talking about what's his name, Matt Rife?
Yes.
And I've seen his clips. He's
I
funny.
think he's funny as hell.
He's funny.
He's sharp. He's sharp. He's very sharp.
Do you know any? I shouldn't say. Do you know anything about him? Generationally, does he come from a father or mother who are entertainers or a comedian or?
I don't know that.
Yeah,
I
we're
don't
at
know.
43
I don't know.
minutes. We're good.
I don't know anything about
Oh,
him.
why you want to take a break?
Well, I don't know. Do we?
There's a local guy. Local. He's from Wisconsin. Charlie Barron's. You ever another one? Have you ever heard of him?
Yeah.
He's. Do you know his story?
No, not 100%.
So his family, his parents.
He's
and
not.
his
He's
family-
not the You Betcha guy.
Yeah.
The other guy is the guy with the brunette. The guy with the black hair is the You Betcha guy, right?
Yes. They're kind of buddies. They do.
That
some
was
stuff
one of
together.
Matt's favorite guys. The
Yes.
You Betcha guy. Matt had the flag.
They're all doctors. His family, and he's got two brothers and sisters. I believe there's a couple of them that are physicians as well. And he was supposed to be a doctor, and he's a comedian. And again, with the wonderful part about social media is, well, first of all, you have to be entertaining. Sorry.
Yeah. we'll just apologize right now for that one.
I don't think that's true, but go ahead. From the comments I get from folks, I mean, that's.
I'm joking. See, that's,
See, I'm not. This is a serious side of me.
I get why you like the gays now. The sensitive ones. Come on.
I'm just.
That's not making it better.
No, I'm just gonna keep drinking.
Anyways. No, you bet you
Why
guys.
aren't there any rainbow flavored candies?
You know,
in
there's a
here?
whole bag in the
Jim?
garage. I got a Happy Meal at lunch
Yeah.
today. I wanted to get all four
Why
of
aren't there
them.
any rainbow flavored
Yeah.
things in here?
So much for all inclusive.
Yeah. Everything's red.
Well, red, green.
What, do you like the Indians
green.
better? Huh?
Wow.
Oh, now he's dragging
Wow.
the Indies in it.
I'm not.
Okay.
They're not part
First
of the
Nation.
conflict. Christopher Columbus screwed them over. Took their land.
Yeah,
You see that the Redskin Nation actually wants the Redskins to be renamed back to the Redskins? They don't want to be
Well,
the
because
Commanders
it's like the
anymore?
Blackhawks. They were respectful about it.
Yeah.
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 Redskin Nation. I mean, they were literally called Redskin Nation.
Oh, I didn't know.
That maybe I'm wrong on it. No, I'm
Yeah,
just.
they're all
I'm gonna
pissed
go,
off.
I'm going to go back to your
They
shirt.
want the money back. They, or
Yeah.
Totally inaccurate.
they want the notoriety back.
Oh, well, good.
You know, they want. Well, now a lot of that too is because Daniel Snyder's gone.
Yeah.
So he was an asshole. So, what?
Be careful. That's on record now.
You were talking. Oh, it's fine. Again, that's part of the lawsuit. But you were talking
That's
about
an opinion, that's
you were
not
talking about Matt
defamation.
Rife and how funny he is, and he's a young guy. And it's cool to see that there's young people that are into the comedy and can make all kinds of people laugh. Do you guys think Joe Rogan is a comedian, or do you think he is now a news guy? You think he's a journalist, or do you think he's a comedian?
He's
still?
neither. He's neither. He's a social activist, meaning, without saying he's on a side. I think he's a perfect example of the best way to use social media because
'cause he
he's got
covers
millions
everything.
of followers, and he doesn't take a side. He doesn't.
No.
He's like I was saying earlier. Before I comment, I want to learn.
Is a comedian,
He
though.
asked.
He does do stand-up.
Well, he started out as
And
a
you know, he
comedian.
still does.
Yeah.
Still does stand up. Yeah,
But
still
he's
doing-
not. But he's not like that in his podcast. If you look, I mean,
No, I've watched
he
his podcast.
can be
He's
funny.
good, yeah.
But he's it's serious.
No,
topics
his
are
podcast,
taken
his
serious.
podcast,
Yeah.
and like I listen to that show Coast to Coast, AM at night. It's midnight to 4 in the morning. It's a late night radio show.
Yeah,
and
about aliens and
yeah, but you know what? Joe Rogan is very similar to that show, in that he brings people on because he's had people that were on Coast to Coast on his show.
Yep.
Talking about the different topics, and it's like there's not a topic that he's not willing to
and he takes serious.
bring,
and he'll bring a serious tone to it.
and he brings
Yes.
a serious tone to it.
That,
And
what was the
that's
guy's
where-
name? Art Bell, right? Was that
Art
Art,
Bell?
Bell?
Yeah, now it's
And
a
then-
George Norrie that
Yeah,
runs
George
it.
Norrie. Yeah.
But yeah, and I see a lot of similarities with the way Joe Rogan does his show compared to the way Coast to Coast does it.
Coast to Coast had a lot of crazy people. on that
Yeah,
show.
well, no,
A lot of crazy.
yeah, open lines on Friday
Yeah.
night. It's great.
Crazy
I mean,
people.
you never know what you're going to get at.
Yeah.
But getting back to treating them with respect,
Right, yeah,
anybody
absolutely.
that called in, whether they were totally off the wall,
Yes.
they would turn around and speak their views, and he would treat them with respect. Whether it was Art Bell, Art Bell was a little more
Yeah.
opinionated, whereas
Right.
George Norrie's kind of like just even keeled but he's polite. But same thing with
Yep.
Joe Rogan. But Joe Rogan also probably he doesn't do the open lines. He's got the
Correct.
He's got
Yeah.
the guests, but there's subjects that he's not afraid to touch, which is cool.
He'll also be the first to admit when he doesn't know about whatever the topic
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
And he asks questions based on not knowing. And I think that's a good way to ask questions.
Yeah, exactly.
Not asking
To
questions.
get more info. Yeah.
I think a lot of times now reporters ask or news people ask
They
questions,
steer it.
trying knowing the answer
Yeah.
and trying to.
Well, they're
steer it.
baiting him.
Yeah,
It's all. They're baiting
steering
everyone
an
now.
agenda or steering.
You should be in news because you're a master at that.
Masturbating. I know what that joke is. Okay. All right. Is Mike here?
Always gotta go back.
Mike
to
Hunt. Is Mike here?
Back to the childhood. Yeah, you got a phone.
Isn't
He
it
talked-
crazy?
he talked- he
Isn't it
talked
crazy
earlier.
how the
That was from-
Simpsons had everything right? Though?
Yes, yes.
You're just
Oh,
doing
now
those
we're going back
names.
to that.
Yeah.
I'm looking for
Isn't
Amanda.
it-
Amanda
isn't
Hugginkiss.
yeah. Oh my. Had to go that way. There's no rainbow flavors in here. Just straight
Wow.
red colors in here.
It always turns full circle.
You did it. You did it.
More like a full rainbow.
Oh, there you go.
No, rainbows are halves, dude.
Oh.
The
Have you
yin
ever
and the
seen a
yang.
rainbow? Or are you a flat earther?
I've seen rainbows, but I haven't seen from end to end.
Are you a flat earther?
I am not a flat earther.
Are you a flat earther?
No, I'm. What's it? The inner earther.
The core.
Yeah, the core people.
What does that
the mole
mean?
men.
Yeah, there's a hole in the earth in what is that? The South Pole.
That's
Where
obvious.
where the Martians come
You're
from.
in law
and they're
enforcement. Everything's a donut to you.
Wow.
German. No, it's all about donuts. You know, you got to go back to
Well,
that.
there's a hole in the middle. It's a circle with a hole in the middle. How can it not be a donut? Sorry.
The toilet's got a hole in it too. You know.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, I got to thank you for bringing in the candy. We're
Happy
at the,
Halloween.
We're at the 50-minute mark. And do you guys want to take a break, or can we go for a couple more minutes, or you want to take a break?
Fine with me. You can cut it. You can cut 20 minutes out of this, no problem.
Yeah, I'll hit you with this last question.
So as soon as Randy goes,
No, I'll hit you with this last question on this line of thought about it's a mad, mad world and everything going on. Then we'll take a quick break. Then we'll come back and we'll close things up for about 15, 20 minutes. You good with that?
Sounds good.
So all I want to know is that I was trying to bring some levity to the whole situation and bringing up that movie and things that make you feel good, and then, as usual, something else came up and we went down that path,
Rabbit hole.
which is totally
Squirrel.
cool because that's what we do. But if you had, you talked about your daughter going with you to tailgates and having a good time, and you talked about your children and things that you guys do. When you guys, I know what we do when my kids come home. There'll be times we'll sit down and we'll watch, very, very rarely, but we'll watch something together. What is your pull the family back together? If the four of you are sitting on the couch and everything is...
It doesn't happen.
No, it doesn't, and it doesn't here at Malotland either a lot. But
It's
when
kind of
does,
it's more of an individual thing. Like it's either me and the wife will sit down and watch something, me and Emma will sit down and watch something, me
so
and
if
Joey
you had a
will sit down and
recommendation
watch
for a feel good, if someone needed to watch something
A
that was
feel-good or
a
something
moment,
you'll all
what would it
watch?
be?
Yeah, I mean it's not gonna.
10 Things I Hate About You is one movie that both my kids loved, and whenever it's on, we don't spend a lot of one-on-one time with my oldest daughter because she's got the kids now. But it's a movie when it's on, and my either one of the daughters are home, we'll watch.
Okay.
Another one that I watch whenever it's on, well, any of the Rockies, Die Hard. But
Is Die
Shawshank-
Hard a holiday movie?
It is the best Christmas movie ever. Not a holiday Christmas movie.
Yeah, Central. This is Hank down at Nakatomi. Can you shut down Greg 210?
Yeah.
Oh, shut it
Such a
down.
Chicago-
Shut it down
it's
now.
an absolute Chicago accent.
Yeah,
that
it's
guy.
totally good.
But Shawshank Redemption.
You get a problem
No matter
down
what
there.
time, no matter what point of that movie is on, flipping
My
through.
good friend
it's-
Andy
Yeah.
Dufresne.
And he wasn't originally. Morgan Freeman was not originally supposed to be that character. It was.
In that
It was
day,
going to be
a bunch of us sat around drinking cold suds.
It
It's
was
amazing you can recite that.
that he just made that up. It was part of the scene, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
It wasn't with the actual words.
You know what? I don't like your accuracy. Can you sit back for a minute? Can you show the folks the T-shirt?
Totally inaccurate.
Totally inaccurate.
I'll get.
Well, then put a
Always
new line. It
inaccurate.
says, "But claim we're accurate."
All right. So, what is the movie then?
Shawshank Redemption.
That is your favorite.
That's what my wife and I always watch when that's the one that's
your
no matter
go-to.
what. Yeah.
What about you and Jules? What's your go-to?
Probably game shows.
Really?
Yeah, she likes watching game shows, and we'll
Yeah.
start watching.
Is that why
mean,
last
like
night you were
Jeopardy-
watching Wheel of Fortune on the
Wheel
TV?
of Fortune yeah.
My father-in-law loved Wheel of Fortune.
It was 8
6
o'clock at night and Wheel of Fortune was on ABC.
Oh, that was the celebrity one though. Had to be right.
Yeah, well,
Because
yeah. No, it wasn't.
normally
I
it's
don't
6:30 to 7.
I don't know who the guy was, but some
He
guy
had
had
on
some
a
big
t-shirt.
Wheel of Fortune shirt, and half of his shirt was Wheel of Fortune.
We
And
should
we're like,
sponsor that
if this guy better do good, because if you're gonna like wear the shirt, you gotta be the man.
And my wife and I try to. We watch a lot of Netflix, Apple TV, your account on Paramount Plus.
Nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Lisa gave Sheila the login.
Well, it's either that or like Yellowstone,
I'm trying to
I have my
cut
own icon.
expenses.
like
I-
Yellowstone. We'll sit down and watch
Yellowstone, yeah. I watch
But-
Yellowstone on Reels.
But
Yeah, well, we
try to
catch up.
watch.
We never watch
We
it
try
on-
to watch right before we try to go to bed at 10, and we try to watch like from 9:30 to 9:40 to 10. Like a 22-minute comedy that was either Friends, Seinfeld, The Office, or
I love The Office.
But we're watching now that I hated it when it was on TV. Arrested Development. It's funny as
Yeah.
hell. The
Yeah.
writing is outstanding in that in that first.
Yeah.
It's forced. We're in the final season, the 4th season. The first 3 seasons when it was on Fox, the writing is unbelievable. The last season now was on. It was Netflix produced it, and it's just okay.
So can we take a step back? Your daughter, we're about to say what hers is.
10 Things I Hate About You, the movie.
Okay. Your kids.
Heath Ledger.
What are their go-tos? This is
What?
someone's law department calling me right now to sue us.
Well, Joey likes his suspense shows, like Pinky Blinders or whatever.
Oh yeah, great.
Yeah,
great
we were watching
series.
that and stuff like
I
that.
love
He-
the.
They never ended it though.
and what was Breaking Bad?
Breaking Bad
and then
was
what was
great.
the other one that spin off of Better Call Saul?
Better Call Saul.
Yeah, me and Joey
Great
were
series
watching
also.
all of those.
That
Kinda
Pinky
Star-
Binders?
Pinky Binders, yeah.
Pinky Blinders?
Pinky Blinders.
I
or
would-
whatever. I don't know.
Lisa
Peaky
and the kids would be
Blinders.
watching that, and I would
From Birmingham,
peek at it,
England.
Yeah.
and I was amazed with the set, the
Oh, the
architecture,
old-
the office overlooking the factory.
Distillery.
that they had in there. The whatever. I didn't watch the show. I didn't watch the show. But I would come in and I would just be amazed.
And they were shipbuilders. Or,
and I would stop and I would look at the detail.
Yeah.
In that era. And that
how dark everything was too. Everything about it was.
But then you start looking at the detail of. You were a carpenter for a while, and I try to.
So was Jesus.
Try to use nails occasionally. That's
why I became a carpenter.
I use a lot of caulk, but I really loved. I loved
Fisher of.
I loved that squirrel. I loved that movie or that show for that reason. So, all right, now that these two have totally fucking pissed me off.
All right. Anyway, so you love the detail.
Folks, if you'd like to be...
What were you saying? I'll listen to what you're saying when you play back.
If you would like to be part of the show, email us at info@windycityredneck.com. Send us a message on Messenger through our Facebook page as well. And if you have critiques of these two gentlemen, please send them over to me. I will share them in the next episode, which will be Season 3, Episode 15.
Yeah, but I'm editing the video, so...
One more, and... All right, so let's do this. This is the way we'll finish this up. You help me with this.
What?
What's going to be your official call sign? We got to clear that up now. You have too many, dude.
Yeah, it doesn't. I'm good with just Jim's fine. I'm good with that.
Just Jim? No,
Are
we
you
got
okay?
we got a Just Ron.
We have a Just Ron.
So you can't do
Jim.
just.
Oh, I was saying Jim. I wasn't saying call me just Jim. I was saying just. Comma.
Just call me Jim. That'll be your name. Just call me Jim.
Jim.
Call me Jim.
Oh.
It'll be it. Call me Jim.
Call me Jim? Okay.
Yeah. Call me Jim. And one more.
Okay. Call me
right?
Jim.
You good with that?
Yeah.
Call me Jim.
Don't call me Jimbo. Don't call me Jimmy.
Oh, there we go. Now we got to call him Jimbo.
No, I hate both of those.
There's so many parameters involved.
I know, but you don't get to pick your name.
My pronouns are Jim and Jim.
You know what? This is a good time to...
Good transition.
Time to transition. Episode. This is Season 3, Episode 14. It's a mad world on Windy City Redneck, the podcast, Vodcast. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back in a couple minutes to close things up on Season 3, Episode 14. We'll be right back.